Hi.
Hi.
I glanced away for a moment, and then we would hear. And I just saw a question in our Zoom chat. And no, what I'm going to do is we forgot to do XP at the end of the session because I forgot that XP was a thing that existed in role-playing games for real. And what we're going to do, because I want to make sure I do it right, is when there's the break, I'm going to scan the XP. And when we get back from break, we'll do XP for last session. And then at the end of this, or you know what, at the end of the session, we're going to do XP and include what happened in the first few sessions.
Yes.
So it'll be like a halfway through XP. So you might level like really quick. But actually, that to me sort of fits because stuff has gotten serious. So who would like to recap what happened last session? I'm not going to because I might give something away.
So much happens.
A lot
I feel like
happens.
maybe we should each recap what our characters did.
That works. Well, let's go around and you introduce yourself, introduce your character, and say what your character did. Someone jump in.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Pablo, he, him. I'm playing Ladi, he or she pronouns. And last session, after some bureaucratic attitude arose, I punched... What was her role again?
She's the general manager of the con.
General manager.
Yeah, I punched the general manager of the con. This probably had some consequences, but I seem to be processing the death of one of our own through violence, which, you know, I admire old ladies who bring that kind of energy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Have y'all ever seen the video of the old lady, like in I think it's the 80s, and there's like a Nazi marching through Warsaw, and she just comes up and beats the crap out of him.
Yes.
Fantastic. All
Old
right.
lady strength is a thing.
It is. It is. Okay. Thank you, Pablo. Who's next?
I can go. Hi, my name's Ray. She, her. I'm playing Hazel. Also she, her. And Hazel, last session when we realized that Maddie was dead, Maddie was dead, we were trying to figure out what to do with the whole situation. My character in particular freaked out when Rose tried to take the lanyard off of Maddie. She was very obsessed that this could somehow, we could get framed, because she's read it in a lot of Amanda Delacour books where you meddle with the crime scene and all of a sudden it gets pinned on you, and that was a big fear of hers. So in a stroke of brilliance, she took the badge, stuck it in her bra to sneak it out so that no one would see that we took something, and then went to go see when she picked up the lanyard, or when I guess Rose did, she discovered that it had some sort of gooey substance on it. And so Hazel decided, felt like medicine. So Hazel decided to pretend that she lost some medication. She scooped a little bit of this goo off the lanyard into one of Gwen's empty pill bottles, unmarked pill bottles. Scooped up into that and went to go find with Gwen some local infirmary nurse on site at the camp to be like, oh, I'm an old lady, I forgot my medication, can you tell me what it is? I forgot to label it. Failed her charisma check situation very poorly, but still was able to find out with Gwen's help that this was nitroglycerin, which we learned in too high of quantities can be bad for one's health. And during this, Hazel herself started to not feel super great, and I believe we ended last session with Hazel still not feeling great, but Hazel's personality is she's very bullheaded. She doesn't like people doting on her, really, so she's not listening to the people around her telling her that, maybe you should go take it easy and lie down, and that perhaps the nitroglycerin being on her titties for so long has also negatively affected her. And I think that's pretty much what Hazel got up to that was noteworthy last session.
Gosh, a lot happened.
Yeah, it was a good session.
It's awesome. Okay, who's next?
So Sylvie, after all the drama that happened after the lady punching someone, decided to do some sleuthing. Went and did both some technological and some magical sleuthing, and found that Witten took a deep dive to search on Evelyn Sanchez, the general manager of the convention that we're in, and it's just it just kind of seems a little sus that she might be a part of a cult. A snake cult even, and that's just a little weird. But upon all of that, I ended up kind of having a weird vision while I was in my car, because I have marked the Crown of the Void for the first time. So I kind of dipped my toes a little bit too deep, so to speak. And then when we were all back and we had our mermaid statue come to life, and Maddie was all just like, "You probably don't know what we are." My cat Spirit just jumped on my shoulder. I was like, "I kind of do." Like, it's okay. Like, I'll let you take it though. And that's what I remember. Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. Who is next?
I will go next. So Rose, I play Rose, she, her. I'm Evie, she, her. And Rose was a little bit of her busybody normal self. At the very beginning, in her busybody way, was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna just take the badge," which Hazel then ended up with. Totally stroke of luck that Rose is the type of busybody that would do that, because I feel like that was a huge clue for us to follow up on. But yeah, Rose was like, "Oh, we're just gonna take this badge." And then everybody was sort of gonna do some separate things. So she was like, "Well, we've been here a long time. Let's go see the Hawthorns in their little like tea time thing for retirement." And so went there and brought a big old plate of like little mini tarts for everybody, and got some good gossip. Found out specifically that Robin Matterson, the author of our Gold Crown Mystery series,
Masters and Masteries.
Yes, yeah, was the one who was not wearing a VIP badge like they were supposed to be, and instead it has on just a normal premium member badge. And so there seems to have possibly been a badge swap that happened or something that went wrong. And so when Hazel came back and was like, "Hey, it's nitroglycerin," and Rose was like, "So they were trying to put nitroglycerin on Robin? What?" And so it's just confused. And then we met this snake lady, and Rose was like, "Oh, you're some sort of like family lineage thing, like you own the land here type whatever." It's because she's normalizing it in her head that this isn't some weird snake lady thing. She's got a theme. It's a family lineage.
Mermaid lady.
Sorry, mermaid lady. Yes.
Who is standing at a stand with it? Yes. Who is
right.
telling
the
you
snake
about
cult was brought up at the same time. There's a whole lot happening.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a lot.
So that's what I was up to. We'll see what continues to happen. I'm going to feed some more people, really, is what this session is going to be about.
Awesome. Definitely keep feeding people. All right, who is next?
I think that brings it to me? Question mark. Hi, I'm Eva, she, her. Today I am playing Gwen, she, they, who is mostly nicely summarized by Ray. They kind of stuck together most of last session. She is also sort of rationalizing the appearance of... Did Maisie introduce themselves?
Yes, at the very end of the session. Without a lot of detail, but yes.
I knew, like, we knew who they were, but... just sort of there's been a trauma here today. We're all sort of rationalizing it how we can. If someone is a mermaid, fine. That's how it goes. I should be so lucky. And I don't think she really had anything independently that was too exciting. She did get an unnamed clue or complication for later, which I don't know if that's today or not, but they took a recording on their phone of the crime scene footage before it was all taken away and cleaned up, and we'll figure out what they've learned at a later date, I guess. Or today. Who knows? Probably whenever Gwen reviews the footage, which... it's not like that's up to me or anything. And I will just take this moment to say that this incredible cast, in lieu of taking tips for today's session or any of the Brindlewood Bay sessions, is instead raising money for the Alzheimer's Association. You can donate by using the ! Donate command. There are some in-game incentives if you would like. If you would not like and want to just donate, that's also super cool. Nothing against that. But if you want, $5 will give you a +1 to a player's roll, and I believe you could also choose a -1 if you want to be really sassy. You could also, for $10, impose an advantage or disadvantage on the player of your choice. For $30, all players get a +1. For $40, each of the players gets an advantage. And I believe we said it was for a $100 donation, we would get an extra super sweet bonus gold crown move. I think that was the dollar amount. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting. So, either way, the money is going to an exceptionally good cause, and we appreciate you. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Eva. All right, so you stand in this small, sort of dilapidated, it's not quite the right word, but like one of those spaces that kind of the appeal is that it's not perfectly maintained, with like old comfy unmatching couches that probably were ones that were given up when they no longer matched the decor upstairs, with a bookshelf full of probably like donated books of very random genres, and there is a glass case with a like taxidermied snake, and this person leaning on it who has just introduced themselves as Maisie, and has the same tattoos that you saw on the mermaid statue that used to be in this room. And Maisie has just finished saying, the more you know, the more in danger you are.
I don't like that. Kind of feels like we're already in deep here. Feel like maybe not knowing things isn't a good way to go forward.
One of us is already dead. Like, how much more in danger can we get?
There are 5 more of you.
That also might have been sort of accidental. Off target.
The outcome's the same.
You sound like someone was trying to assassinate another person.
I mean, the badge was likely meant for Robin.
I mean, all things being equal, I'd still be pretty upset if Robin died too, really. Like,
well, yes. But I don't think we are being aimed at, is what I guess I'm trying to say.
Maybe we are now.
Well,
yeah, you did punch someone. That definitely kind of turned the tables a little bit.
That was pretty good, though.
You punched
it was
one
good. I want to
person.
make it very clear. I am pro
You can't
punching
punch
authority.
anyone these
I'm
days.
just-
Some on the outside, it was very good form.
Could have used more shoulder.
Also, I believe this GM talking that y'all managed to get the video of that like popular, like so now everybody thinks that Lady is super cool for doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those
she is.
were not the descriptors that I remember being associated with that video. I remember people kind of
Yeah.
fearing me, actually.
No.
That's right. Well, that's
It was
a
a
version of
split.
Super
It was
Bowl.
a split. There was a split. There was some of the people looked at you with like a oh shit kind of like what the fuck, and then like normal like people who'd been at the con for a long time, the people who worked at the con, like people who kind of knew you a little bit more, so were like, yeah, good job.
Good.
So split.
You definitely got a sense of the level of popularity of Concord with the old timers and the people who have been working at this place for a long time. Right. And the couple, the Hawthorns, particularly, might be heartened by what just happened.
Good.
The more you
Maybe
know.
they like told you good job in a like subtle way because you went with Rose to the Hawthorns little retirement party thing. So
I don't think that they're big internet people, so I don't know that they've seen that yet.
well, they would have been there when Ladi punched them, maybe.
Good point. Good point. We have video evidence if we want to look for it.
So, what sort of danger?
I don't want to blow your minds. What
Try me.
the kind of danger that we don't have a lot of good words for? I mean, we
Then
have
use-
words for
then
dying.
use the bad
but-
words.
Right. Magical danger, so
Supernatural danger.
possibly.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like something that we want to just continue our lives pretending we don't know about. I think the only way out is through here. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, how do people feel about getting to the bottom of this?
I mean, I want to get to the bottom of this, but I still don't entirely know who you are and why we're listening and trust. Everyone just seems like they're just on board all of a sudden. I feel like I haven't got a good answer of who you are, why we should trust you, how you know things. I want answers before we listen to anything that you're saying.
Hazel, sweetie, this is one of those like new millennial Zoomer people who just really want to get into the drama, and we seem to be the ones that are in the midst of it. So they're just wanting to like curtail onto our fame, which I totally respect the hustle, sweetie. It is totally fine. No shade. Is that what you call it? But I don't know if we're necessarily actually the right target for your attempt here in terms of like trying to obtain your own platform.
I'm less worried about like the I think they call it clout chasing situation, more about the magical danger. I don't know what are we talking about drugs, or are we like how magical what? I'm sorry. I don't want to be closed-minded. We're working on that. We're working on being open-minded, but I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about magic.
You can see the statue came to life, right? Like that's
As y'all are talking, you start to hear like a crackling sound, right? Almost like the sound you'll hear like when ice is forming. And slowly, Maisie, their skin hardens. The like kind of wavy look of wood grain becomes more and more evident. And they stick their chest out and their feet back and become a mermaid attached to the wall with a smirk carved onto its face.
That was helpful.
Gwen has been scrolling on their phone, like listening but not really paying attention until she gets to a video of one of those. They always hang out in like squares and fountains, but the people in paint with the top hats and like they're all painted gold or silver.
Oh yeah.
And is showing the phone to Hazel. Look, like this. I think like.
This is a very
Statue-
impressive version. Yeah.
Okay. You're
This is
doing
very good.
Performance art.
She turns to Maisie. That was very good.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
Rose
quite
is
impressive. Thank you, Gwen.
That's so good.
Finally someone with reason. Thank you so much.
Are none of you wearing your glasses right now? You just have them dangling from the little loopy thing down here.
Yeah,
Those are my
like
readers.
a long bedazzled one.
You know, those are my readers.
They're not a busker.
Sylvie
They're
looks
they're-
unfazed, by the way.
They're a mermaid gargoyle.
Hazel's
What
got
to
her
get?
prescription sunglasses on, so she can't really tell the nuances happening here. She doesn't really see it.
Also, is it
Rose
night at
is
this
like-
point? I feel like.
It is night.
Yeah, okay, that's even better.
Hazel just thinks they make her look cool. That's all.
There's
Rose
another
says
crackling
to Ladi that like, look, I understand we're supposed to accept whatever pronouns and orientations that anybody wants to identify as, and so if they want to identify as a mermaid gargoyle, I'm going to support this.
It's not
It's
the
fine.
same being a mermaid. It's gender is sort of a thing we all participate in. All right, look, we
I
can talk
don't
about
think
that
being
later.
an other kin is a.
There's a wood crackling again. The sound more now of branches breaking. And Maisie in human form stands before you and it just looks at all of you and goes, "Are you kidding me?"
No, we never kid about gender acceptance.
Exactly.
Not that,
We've derailed multiple book clubs going into this discussion.
which
Which is why we have to have our own.
good on you. Wonderful.
Spent a very long time unpacking our biases. We've spent like a much shorter percentage of our life talking about this stuff than a lot of your generation. How old are you?
Probably about 100.
Okay.
Well, you know,
Pretend I
actually,
didn't say what I
doing
just
the
said.
math, let me think about it. It sort of depends on what years you count.
Can
All of them.
you do that? I didn't know you could just
It's,
skip years
it's
you
like
didn't want.
jazz. It's like jazz. It's about the years you don't count.
Do you? It's pre-carve or post-carve. I'm not sure which of the two you would.
I mean,
Anyway,
if you
Are
want
you
to consider
post?
prior to your carb diet situation not valid, we support this.
No,
but
can you see that I am made of wood?
Are you post or pre-colonial?
Can you just
You know,
ask
I
someone
don't-
that?
Have a lot of memory pre-carve, really, not a lot. So I don't.
What were you
know.
carved from? What kind of tree were you carved from? What are you made of?
Jen doesn't know trees. Elm.
An elm tree.
Could be
Huh.
a beach.
I would have thought ash. Anyway.
That. Maisie confidently says a kind of wood that is a realistic kind of wood to carve a mermaid statue from.
My neurodivergence is gonna go look at. We're in Ohio, right?
Indiana. Yeah. No, what?
Native Indiana trees.
Heck yeah.
Oh, I thought we were in Maine.
I kind of like the idea that we're in whatever location y'all think that we're in. Like,
Pulling a
we're,
Simpsons.
everybody.
She could be a maple.
Maple. Oh, I like maple.
Yeah.
I like maple.
Yeah,
That
a
makes
red
sense for
maple, yeah.
Indiana. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maple. They confidently say.
Mm.
And
see.
my point is that what you consider reality perhaps is not as reliable as you thought it was. And Hazel is right. You have a choice to make.
Right?
Do you move forward to find the truth, knowing that that will make you less safe here? Or do you get out while you can?
Some of us are queer elders who've been around for a very long time, and we've seen some shit. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get phased by like, oh, here's some triangles that the angles don't add up to 180. It's just a trapezoid. It's fine.
Amazing.
With like just
So good.
this is the first time that Sylvie is gonna say this out loud in front of everyone else. But she's just gonna look at Maisie like dead in the eyes. Is it more dangerous than having sex with a werewolf?
I haven't tried that, so I don't have a good answer for you.
Then I should be fine.
I don't know if I'm impressed or scared.
You're impressed.
Impressed. All right. Good. Well, you still have a choice to make. And I'm an instrument to help if you would like me to be.
Why?
Although-
I don't,
what?
like I told you, I don't think that we're the correct group for you to get your clout platform virality through.
Well, here's the thing, is it's not like it's chicken or fish, right? Like, this isn't some sort of existential debate. Either whoever Maisie is, or however shall be referred to, mermaid, gargoyle, what have you.
I prefer Murgoyle.
Murgoyle, of course. Just gonna add that to my notes app.
I can't believe we never came up with that when we played.
Also shocked.
Checkers.
Yeah.
Clout or no, like if we can get information that will help us along with our investigation, you know, what's a little YouTube video or TikTok here or there, you know, like if we're helping out our friend, you know, more friends is probably better.
I start turning out my pockets, Maisie does, and go like, look, no phone.
Oh, you'll never be a content creator without a phone.
Exactly.
Or at
Hold
least not
hard
a very
proof
good
right
one.
here. they must be real.
All right, ladies. You can accept two things: that we have a supernatural being in front of us, or we don't. I accept Maisie is a spirit of some kind, and I believe her. But that's easy for me.
I can accept that Maisie wants to be perceived as a supernatural Murgoyle spirit entity.
All right.
Hey, Maisie, maybe we should take this from the top. You did a little bit of proof just now, but I think there was some perception issues. Some of us refuse to wear our glasses. Can you do something to like prove that you're magic?
Doesn't matter is the other thing. Because
Right.
I can make coin disappear all day. I mean, I can't, but I've seen it done.
You can?
No, I wish I
Oscar
could.
was really
I
good
practiced.
at this.
Yeah, I
I
Never-
might be able to remember a card trick or two that he used to do.
I would love to see that.
We should
Okay.
We should do like a magic
Gotta go
show
look
and
for
tell
cards.
at our next.
That'd be so fun. I bet I could do the
Okay,
thing with the
alright.
scarves.
We're pretty off
I
task.
love the thing with the scarves.
I do want to move things
are-
along.
All screwed.
This is what happens when elder folk are undiagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah, it's true.
So true. Well, I will offer my services as something of a spy if you can get me into a place unnoticed or have an explanation for moving a mermaid statue into a place. I can hear things that are being said in that place.
Do we have to physically move you? Or are you incapable of leaving this lodge outside of your Murgoyle stage?
Lodge, yes.
Okay.
Campsite, that's a little iffy.
Okay. Do we need to bring you off camp?
Let's not try that.
You are bound here.
Let's not go there.
Hmm. What do you know of snake cults?
What do I know? Snake cults. So this land used to be much desired by a cult of people who turn into snakes. And my friend, and Maisie points to the taxidermied snake, is their leader.
Gwen's flash on her phone goes off as she just takes a, like, picture. Sorry. Seemed important.
It's fine. It's
Interesting.
fine.
Do you know an Evelyn Sanchez?
Evelyn. No. I'm usually awake in the summer.
Can your friend come awake like you are? Or are they on the other side of the veil?
No. Well, in a way, she can be sentient and go places in a certain form. But I don't know how to talk to her unless she's already there.
Okay. Is she dangerous to us if we do this investigation? Is she
No.
who we have to worry about? Do we have
But
to
she's the
worry
leader
about?
of the cult?
Do we have to worry about her
she's
followers?
Sort of the object of worship of the cult.
Okay.
That doesn't make me feel better. That was not comforting.
No, but she's very nice and just a little bit.
Cult leaders often are.
Yeah.
That's how
No,
that's.
it's not her fault. It's not her fault.
She's
It's
not
not
the
her
cult
fault.
leader, she's the deity.
Right. It's not her fault.
It's like Jesus isn't a bad guy.
We're making a lot of
but so the
excuses
people that
for
worship
cult
him
Right.
are.
No,
leader.
exactly. It's not like she's great and
Yeah.
but I don't look at that. Focus went ahead. Do. Okay. Yes. I don't know if
Sounds like
these
some
are the same people.
cult apologist stuff going. What are these members of this cult? What do they do?
Well, try to take over and poison land for their
Yeah,
own
okay.
personal
We're
profit.
not making
But
excuses
there's
for
like
the super
changes.
nice and awesome cult leader that oopsie
No,
poop.
but she wasn't in charge at that point. Like there was a big change in leadership this summer.
Oh, there was a schism.
So,
So she's not in charge anymore.
but as far as I know, she still is.
And you're friends with her, and this
Yeah.
is. I don't like
She
this.
was a camper this summer.
Oh,
Now she's a snake. Queen.
Well, she was kind
Goddess.
of always a snake, but yeah, no, she's yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Are her followers magical beings, or are they normal people in the normal world?
As far as I know, they
Normal.
also have the same powers. Well, now she's
Okay.
more powerful, but the same kinds of.
Perhaps she knows Emily Sanchez. I mean, not Emily.
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn Sanchez. That was in character.
So,
Absolutely.
okay, but your snake queen goddess friend and or the schismed bad culty not friends, do either of them have any reason to want, if not our friend Maddie, a particular author here dead, or some sort of upset here at the camp for this event, or
I can't imagine why.
okay, because that seems to be what's happening. One way or another, someone's dead that we care about and we want answers for, and we would really like for it not to happen again, right, ladies? Like, not happening again?
Yeah.
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 Gwen, that's actually. Can you come here? Here, I want to show you my card trick. Can you come over here?
Yeah?
Okay. Rose wants to like pull one of them away, who seems like they might be willing to have this slightly more rational conversation. And based on what Gwen just said, Gwen is the one who's picked. So Rose is gonna like pretend she's like found a very broken up deck of cards, and so she's gonna shuffle them and pretend, but she's gonna say to Gwen, "I don't know." But you know Robin, right? And what if this Maisie person is just trying to kind of work the angle to get into Robin's next book by introducing the beautiful mystery of a snake cult?
Oh, that would be a really good plot, though.
Mm.
That's a good point, but no one really knows that I know Robin.
Well, that's what you would presume. But, and I like do a little magical flourish with the cards, and I like show you a card that you didn't pick because I forgot to have you pick.
Sure,
and I'm like,
sure.
But
Oh,
thing is, we don't know who's listening at any given point. You have one of those smartphones that's always like taking in
can't trust
what
the
you're saying.
internet. If Sylvie's taught us anything.
That's why I've got this. She pulls out like a Nokia brick phone. That's why I've got this. This one doesn't listen to me.
You have a jitterbug?
Lady gets like right next to how did I forget the statue's name?
Maisie.
Gets right next to Maisie and just like whispers, okay, I'm gonna change strategies here. I think we might be useless. Do you have someone else that you can pick to be the chosen ones?
Let me be clear. I did not choose you. You punched the general manager of Concord here in the face publicly. So it's not, just to be clear, coming from me. And I think you're probably stuck unless you leave now.
We are really unfocused. And
Really?
it's going to continue being like that until we're all hanging out in the morgue. So
that, I'm going to walk over with my card trick and be like, right, I need somebody to pull a card. I'm going to show you guys can do this.
I pull a card.
Cool. I do a thing. Put it back in the deck.
I put it back. Did you need me to look at it?
So you don't know if this is your card?
Nope.
She's really good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. She's a natural. Mm-hmm.
So let me pause this and ask, what are your character's goals in this moment? Let's go around. What does your character want in this moment?
Gwen? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think hope that there's a way forward.
Gwen doesn't really care what Maisie's background is. Given that Maddie is dead and Robin is potentially still at risk, they are leaning towards not disclosing more information on our group's side than necessary. But if Maisie knows something and is willing to share, exploit is such a dirty word, but she's willing to, she's interested in exploring that to some point.
What about Sylvie?
Sylvie is invested in figuring out the spooky shit. She's like, I haven't experienced this in a while since I left home. Nice. I still got it.
I haven't had any supernatural shit happen ever since I had that hookup with that werewolf.
That is my child's husband, okay? I mean, my child's daddy, okay?
I really hope it's your child's daddy.
Excuse me, that is my child's daddy, okay?
Woo, Sylvie has a checkered past.
Listen, he is still alive and he's still in New Mexico. He's got this whole... Yes. I'll show you a picture of him later.
What about Rose?
I think Rose is like kind of how we discussed a little bit about like Rose has probably encountered supernatural weirdness, and she just kind of approaches it with this idea of I will put these handles on here that allow my mind to grab it just enough to be able to set it aside.
Yeah.
so that I don't have to really interact with it and it can just kind of do its thing.
The
And that's
rationalizations
sort of-
are brilliant.
And yeah, so that's sort of what she's attempting to do here. And she's being like, it's being forced in her face more than she would normally probably interact with. And so she's like, just kind of digging a little deeper in like, that's a beautiful cosplay special effect you have. And you're trying to like work us for clout and maybe to get a hold of Robin, and like, you want to be a part of a murder mystery for real life, and you think that we're best friends with Robin, and so you're trying to like whatever. And like, the more she's in this situation, the deeper she's going to really dig to get those handles, because she does not have she has a -1 spirit and like doesn't truck with that really at all.
It's
and
like it's like a magnet with the same charge, like pushing. Yeah, I get it.
And so the more it's going to be pushed, the stronger those rationalizations are going to be. And if it pushes to break it, I don't know if it's going to be helpful. I think she probably just will leave. So I think her goal in this moment is just, look, this is a person. If you guys want to let her hang out, that's fine. That's the group's call. I don't see any point in this. And that's where she's at.
Got it. What about Hazel?
I think Hazel is bumping up against the limitations of, she's in her new kind of rediscovery era. She's trying to be super open-minded and like open to new experiences. And this is really testing that. She's kind of going back to her old ways of being very rational and very type A. And she's tried to force herself out of that. And this is like too much. This is kind of forcing her back to where she came from, being very tight-laced, being very rational, realistic. And so this is, with no one else really taking super strong charge here, she always feels responsible for like other people. She's used to kind of being a people manager person, and that's like freaking her out a little bit. She's short-circuiting a little bit, and I think she just wants someone to make a decision, I think, so that she can free her mind from all of this, because it's pushing her limits a little bit.
Yes. So here's what I'm going to do. I see your hand. Let me.
Yeah, it's an in-character thing. Sylvie's just going to suggest we all sleep on it and make the decision tomorrow.
and that will give you a chance to do cozy activities. Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm going to have you do 2 rolls. All right. And you can decide who among your group is going to do the rolls. Right. The first roll is going to be a meddling move, or a night move. You can decide which. To sort of determine how much use you can make of Maisie's powers, right? And how much work you have to do to utilize Maisie's powers, right? The second roll is going to be the way that we're going to use a theorized roll, right? And that is the degree to which, I might make this individual. I think everyone's going to do this. The degree to which, despite whatever belief you have about what Maisie is, the degree to which you personally are going to be able to incorporate that into your strategy, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
So we're all doing 2 rolls?
No, pick somebody to do either a night move or a meddling move.
I kind of feel like it should be Sylvie, because she's the most supernaturally in tune to begin with.
I'm the leech.
Yeah.
Unless someone else goes strongly, I feel like in story, they're in game, that makes the most sense.
Not Gwen.
I'm happy to do it.
Let's have Sylvie roll, and roll with spirit. Are you rolling
with spirit?
And I roll with, wouldn't it be with spirit?
I don't have spirit on here.
I have the wrong word? I warned you that I would end up
sensitivity.
using
I called it. I think it's because I called it spirit.
Yeah,
that was my bad.
Sensitivity.
Sorry.
We can go back. Sensitivity, and I'm gonna say it's a. Well, do you want to make it a meddling move or a night move?
I'm gonna do it a night move.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give it a roll.
It's an 11.
All right. All right. You do what you intended, or you hold steady. Right. So you have clarity on how to use Maisie's powers, and sort of can communicate that effectively to the group as a whole, either in character or under the the table. And then do we want to do everybody do a theorized roll, or the group do a theorized? I'm going to make this a group roll, so everybody roll, but we're going to see how many people pass the roll.
Okay, what's the stats?
Let's
theorize is breathing.
I'm gonna have you pitch what stat you each use.
How many-
So let's go around. Let's
Well,
start with-
how many clues do we technically have? Because it's supposed to be roll plus the number of clues found minus the mystery's complexity, unless we're going to flatten that to just be a stat-based thing.
I'm gonna have it just be a stat-based thing for individuals. 'Cause like this move, the way it's written, doesn't work with the way we're playing, so we're changing
Got
it
it.
around.
Okay.
Sorry to be confusing. Okay, so Gwen, what stat can you use to kind of work your way through the maze of all of this new stuff that you've learned?
I would like to pitch composure, not just because it's my best stat, but due to all of her years in newscasting and seeing all sorts of wild things live, you just work through it and you process it later.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, give it a roll.
And it's 2d6s.
And I'm going to tell you what the results are. You don't need to look at the move in the book.
That's good because I don't have my book open to that page. 6, 7, 8, 10 total.
Okay. You feel like you've got that newscaster confidence is really taking over, and also like kind of the investigative reporting that goes behind the newscaster's work. Like, this is fascinating. Yeah. All right. Lady.
I'm gonna go with the same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with composure as well. I feel like this is less about how much we can think this out and more about how much we can use it. My Metamor gave me this dice tower for Christmas 7 months ago, and I just thought I would show off.
That's
This is
so
the first time I've ever used it in a role-playing game.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. Keep dropping.
I'm honored that you're using it in mine.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. All right. You also are like, and something for you, you're just such an open person anyway, that you just sort of roll with what's happening and can incorporate it. And also that your passion to find who did this and either have them seek justice or punch them in the fucking face. Your passion for that causes you to want to just use what you've got.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's Lady also just trying to like hold together. Like if this is like a moment where if I like stop and rest, I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck is happening? And instead it's just be like, no, like this is an emergency, this is a crisis, we gotta keep going.
Yeah, makes sense. Hazel, what about you?
I feel like not to just copy everyone else, but I think composure as well.
Yeah.
Because she's just trying to keep herself calm because she's teetering a little bit. This is freaking her out a lot. So
Yeah, that makes sense. In fact, I should have had you all do a night move, but that's okay.
That is an 8.
All right. So you're getting it, but you're shaken up, and it's going to be like other things that happen. You're going to be more sensitive to needing to do a night move to manage them.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah, that
so
makes
I may
sense.
call night move on you more often. Rose, what about you? Should you roll with disadvantage? No, Rose is doing such a good job of rationalizing it. No, just go ahead straight.
I was about to say I'm gonna break from the pack, and I think even though it's not my best stat, I probably should do reason.
Yes.
Because Rose has been absolutely
rationalizing.
handling this whole thing.
Yes.
Through rationalization and reason.
100% straight
Don't
roll.
make me roll this with a disadvantage when I'm already handicapping myself a little.
No, I agree.
All right. Ooh, that still hit a 10.
Nice.
Y'all are rolling hot.
+1.
Yeah.
This rationalization is like not only good, like now you're starting to think, how could I utilize an enthusiastic kid who wants attention and is willing to put themselves out there? Yeah. Okay, Sylvie.
Sylvie also is rolling with reason, but for the completely opposite reason why Rose is rolling with reason. Like, this is another day in the park. It's like, at least it's not the Illuminati. Who cares? And I did roll with a 10, so.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, y'all were,
Yeah.
all except Hazel were 10.
It's
cool. It's on brand.
Yeah.
It tracks.
Distracted by being so thirsty. Yeah, so like you've got this. This is comfortable for you on some level. Yeah. All right.
It's an adventure. I still got it. I can do this.
So those are sort of the feelings coming up for all of you right now. What are you all going to do? Where are you going as a group right now? Or as individuals?
I like the sleep on it idea.
Yeah, I do not think
Yeah.
that we're going to get much further at our age at this hour.
Hmm.
Most of us, it's past our bedtime, and I look at Rose. So
Ruthless.
I know she's like an 8:30 type of person. So you know, same bedtime since she was 10.
I think the ladies on the exact opposite camp. I think
Ladies ready to.
I think that he's. Oh.
Huh?
Okay. I think ladies in the exact opposite camp. I think that he's in like this headspace of like we have to do something now. Like I can't rest. I can't chill right now. So if the group breaks, I think he's gonna spend the evening trying to like come up with something, investigate something, like write it out, whatever. And that might just lead to a meddling move mechanically.
Got it. Cool. Y'all can be in character and figure this out.
When Gwen hears the 8:30 reference, she's just oh my show's on. I can probably record it, but I thought I'd be back in the room by now.
Do you have it set up to record?
Aren't you
No.
watching it on Disney Plus? Like you don't have to. You can watch it whenever you want.
But then I have to sign into the app. I have to call my granddaughter. I haven't like signed in yet. And when I do, I feel like it logs me out and I don't understand why. I have to reset my
So
password
useless.
every time.
I think the 8:30 bedtime comment sends Hazel in the other direction. That kind of snaps her out of it, especially with Gwen feeding into it and be like, we should just go to sleep and go watch our shows. Hazel kind of it jogs her a little bit of like, no, this is an opportunity for adventure and excitement. We are not going to bed. We are not too old for this. We are going to, lady, if you want to try to figure something out, make a game plan, I am, and she kind of wincing. This is stressful for her, but I'm with you. Let's figure this out.
And Lady goes, okay, to the stacks of the library. Wait, no. Okay, sorry. I was thinking about the book.
So it sounds like you have a day shift and a night shift?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of us are going to sleep in, some of us are not.
it's more efficient that way. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
What's your
Alright.
plan, night shift?
Yeah, night shift leader lady, what's the plan?
Like pull out my phone, open it, start scrolling through minion memes, get distracted.
All right. No. All right.
I actively hate minion memes, like me now, to
Oh,
the
yeah.
core of my being.
Oh yeah. No, they're terrible. They're weaponized cringe.
Yeah.
Well put.
Okay, well, what other answers do we need right now that we can work with? You said the snake cult people, they're not here right now, right? Like their leader goddess is, but the disciples are not here, right? Asking
As
Maisie.
far as I know.
Where do they reside? How imminent of a threat, if we fuck with things, are they?
Quick question.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Did we separate? Or are we still all
Let's-
Well,
together?
you can all be there making plans together. or
Yeah,
you
we're
can
all making
separate.
plans
Yeah,
together right
we
now.
haven't talked about reconvening or anything yet, so.
Yeah. Three of
Yeah.
you are
Okay.
heading to bed, but before you head to bed, you can plan what you want the night shift to do.
Then I think that when Hazel asks that, she's gonna get handed a manual that is open to like a certain page, and it's Rose handing over the new kitchen SOP
Oh,
for how the kitchen is structured, and the page it's on is the one that discusses the heavy ritualistic behavior of making sure that you leave out a portion to the bosses and the people in charge, regardless of if they're present, and she'll just hand that to you.
Okay.
All right.
Got
We gotta
it.
start.
Got it.
Also, I think we should case the joint. I feel like that's a
Sure.
thing we have to do.
It's in every one of the books. You gotta.
Yeah. Can we do a
figure out-
heist tonight?
Before,
Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, if we're heisting, I'm back in.
There we go. That's the spirit. Let's go.
I do have a very fast car. Hazel, could
Yeah.
I get Melvin's number from you?
Absolutely. And she's got like a little pocket Rolodex that she pulls out and points out Melvin's number.
I'm just gonna like take it. I've had LASIK, so I don't need my glasses. It's funny because I'm the only one on stream that also is not wearing glasses.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And I just put it in my phone, and then I'm gonna just like thank you, and then I'm gonna text Melvin.
Yeah, he's wonderful. You're gonna love him.
Yes, I need
That
him.
actually might be helpful. Maybe we could all maybe. I know we're all on the action plan tonight, but we could all go see Melvin. It could give us an idea, an epiphany. I have those a lot when I hang out with Melvin.
Remind me, which one's Melvin? Is
My
Melvin
mushroom
mushrooms.
guy. Yes.
Okay.
I am suggesting we all hallucinate to help us figure out a plan.
We did bump into him. Was that all of us, or was it just
I think it was all of
Hazel?
us, yes.
Yeah, you were
I
all
think
there.
it was all of us because I asked if Melvin
Mhm.
could produce a list of everything they've got. So I think that Rose would be like, well, I still need that list from him. So we could certainly go and at least find out if he's got that.
What do you think, lady?
I mean,
I don't want to derail the motion. We had good momentum.
No. I'm not.
But-
Listen, I'm not gonna. I'm not
But-
gonna partake in an altered state of consciousness tonight. I feel like having at
No.
least one designated sober person is probably a good thing, considering one of us died earlier today.
I'm
But
not going to either.
but that said, I mean, Melvin's a fan favorite. We can't not see Melvin today.
Brindlewood Bay,
a player
fan
favorite.
service.
It's
Wait,
really player
it's giving
service.
fans.
Yeah, it's player service.
Gwen is just like finishing up her own like canned sparkling wine.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
altered state of so you don't want to drink? Is that
I
what?
do.
What is Melvin? What's he bringing? Are we going to him?
Melvin
don't know what he
has
does. He never comes to the-
mushrooms, sweetie. The way there's medicinal marijuana, it's medicinal mushrooms.
I don't know if there's anything
I
medicinal.
feel
about
like
it,
we
but
talk
okay.
about this every so often, and I still don't get, because when I think mushrooms, I think crepes and like a steak sauce, like a
Right, that's what I'm hoping for, but they give
Right.
like medicine effect.
like healing.
We should get dinner first.
We'll all go to Melvin and find out. We can
We
all
should get
learn
dinner
something.
first. It's late. We didn't eat.
We're hungry.
I ate.
Also, Hazel
We had
doesn't.
tarts.
Hazel, you weren't feeling so good. Maybe some food would help.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
There was a dive
Yeah.
bar coming in. It's probably still open.
Wait, Hazel, you're not feeling good? Rose, like,
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's past. I'm fine.
There's a stricken
she pulls
look.
out a little like Tupperware container that has like 2 of the tarts in it
Oh my God, I
that
love
were
her
left
so
over
much.
from the other thing. And she pulls this out and she goes, okay, well, here. And she hands them to you. And they're like little tiny, like personal sized little like
Oh.
custard tarts with fruit on them that are
Cute.
left over from the retirement party. And so she's like, if you're not feeling well, eat these.
Bless. Bless.
I love her.
I love her
Diabetic,
so
aren't you,
much.
Hazel?
Yeah, Hazel eats her little tarts.
So now what is the gang doing?
We're gonna go
Melvin?
to Melvin.
Oh, we're gonna go to Melvin.
We've been successfully derailed.
We managed. No. We managed to reach consensus.
We did.
There we
yeah.
go. There we
True.
go.
Gwen's going along because she thinks there's food. She's been distracted from her show.
What is her show, though? I need to know what her show is.
Oh my god.
It's just Columbo reruns.
Oh my god, yes.
And she
Oh,
also
Disney
owns
Plus.
the DVDs. So like
Disney Plus.
Excellent. And somehow
It is in this
a
universe.
VCR recorder in her hotel room. It's great. All right, so you head on over to the Lizzie Borden bungalows, where Melvin has a bunk in one of the rooms, the shared rooms. And once again, there's a lot of kind of clustered talking to each other and sort of low voices. And this was a major thing for everyone who witnessed it. And there's definitely some side eye at Lady. And Melvin is standing outside of his room, just sort of leaning against the wall, kind of observing. And this is the thing about Melvin. Melvin's not a super social kind of guy. Sometimes it feels like Melvin likes that, and sometimes it just feels like Melvin's lonely. He's hanging out, leaning against the wall.
Melvin.
Oh, hey, y'all.
Melvin, I brought the whole gang. Hello.
I see. I'm so. Gosh, everybody.
Happy to see us. I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Well, I mean,
so she just steamed. If
Did we
Melvin was
just
gonna talk
leave
about his
the
feelings,
gargoyle
does not
behind,
care.
or did she come with us?
Hazel, she very much doesn't listen. And if Melvin was trying to say something, she just steamrolls him. And it's like, Melvin, we need you. We the girls and I, we need some ideas. We were planning on writing our own. We were all gonna collaboratively write our own book, and we wanted to come up with a premise. And I think we need some of your mushrooms. Would help us come up with ideas and a plan for our book. And I don't have cash on me right now, but for the good of all literature, could we come hang out with you?
Hazel, I always tell you to keep some on
you.
You
don't have any money?
A cab.
Don't.
Make a
Rose
meddling move.
reaches into her purse.
Do you need like
pulls
a
out
20?
wad.
Yeah.
Like
Hazel,
got
make
one
a
of those
meddling
fold-over
move.
wads.
Meddling move? Okay.
Yes. What ability are you gonna use?
Do I get to pick anything?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, probably presence.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Probably.
Are we able to
presence?
help each other?
Yes.
Would my offering money be a help?
I would say so. So I'm gonna then have Rose make a meddling move first, and if it's successful, you get a Hazel. You'll get advantage.
Okay. Cool.
I'm playing a little fast and loose with the rules. I hope that's okay.
You're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also feel like it would make sense canonically that Hazel has often asked Melvin for product without having money on her.
But you're also flat out lying to him. So.
Yeah, correct.
I feel like this crew is really good at lying, at showing up all at once and being like, we need drugs right now because we're writing a book.
Yeah. Rose, why don't you go ahead and roll with reason?
All right, so I got a 7 then.
Okay.
Oh.
A 7, I'm gonna say, here's what you can do. Hazel, you can take that help, but if you do, the lingering effect of that lie may last and be there in your relationship with Melvin.
No. Oh no.
Or do a straight
okay,
roll.
that makes me, Ray, very sad, but I don't think it is gonna make Hazel sad, so Hazel's gonna do it.
So
Because Hazel's not the most thoughtful person in the world.
Yeah. Roll with advantage and presence.
Okay, roll
But
with
she makes all the
advantage. 3.
tie-dye for everyone.
She does, but it's not necessarily, it's more of a selfish thing. She wants people to like her things, and it's not as altruistic as it might seem. That is, so I just add all 3 together, or do I take...
No, you take the top 2.
Top 2, okay. And then
presence.
add my presence, which would be a 9.
Ooh, okay.
Not amazing, but not terrible.
Here's what the complication is.
Okay.
It's not just that Melvin is aware that you're lying, because that's right.
Shit.
But maybe actively trying to figure out what's going on.
Damn it.
Yeah, and you
Don't
get
love
that
that.
sense that there's an inquisitive, like nosy sort of thing. But he does go back into the room, and you hear some rustling around, and he comes back. And because Jen has never even been in the presence of magic mushrooms, there is a bag
Neither
whatever
have
looks
I.
like that is handed to Hazel. they exist in a specific way in the Warp and Weft universe.
Great.
Okay,
I also
the Warp
couldn't
and
comment
Weft-
on it, so this is great.
In the Warp and Weft cinematic universe, they look like shiitake, like
Perfect.
mushrooms.
Yeah. In the Warp and Weft cinematic universe, they look like stuff Jen seen at the supermarket.
And
Exactly.
I think as that gets passed to Hazel, like Rose is like pulling out like how much money?
Also have never priced magic mushrooms.
Well, okay, is he gonna quote
My
Rose
roommate
an
did them last
appropriate
night.
amount that
Yes,
Hazel
yes,
would know,
there's
or
an
is he gonna?
appropriate amount. So
Okay.
Rose pays an appropriate amount that is
Great.
not big enough to worry about. Yeah.
So
No.
she pulls the money out and then she doubles it up and goes, I need a dose of that as well.
Oh, sure thing. Sure thing.
Does Rose know what's that?
They're medicinal mushrooms.
So no.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So he
Awesome.
goes back and you hear rustling around, and actually before he goes back, he goes, "Okay, anyone else before I
Yes.
agree?"
But
Is it-
Melvin, I have a very important question for you.
Mhm.
Do you do special orders? Or do you
Depends
have
on the order because I'm at a summer camp right now.
Yes. My question is, do you have any fly agaric on you?
Should I know what that is?
Yeah, okay. So fly agaric is the stuff that Vikings used to take to
Uh-huh.
like go into berserker mode or shit. It's very poisonous.
I'll let
But,
you roll
like-
a meddling move to see if he does.
Yeah. It's very poisonous.
I love that this game has become like specifically drug oriented, which is totally fine. And I am like so
But
not.
it's kind of it's
knowledgeable.
used in like Vision Quest in Europe kind of thing. So it's very specific for. So what is the thing for meddling?
Meddling. I think you're using presence as well, right?
Presence. Okay, let me see what we have because this is important for me.
Googling it, and I accidentally typed
I'm gonna use a reroll on this because I rolled only I only rolled a 7 and I kind of want to get it a little bit higher. than
Okay,
that.
so one of the rerolls has been used.
Perfect. Okay,
How many more
so
do we have?
4.
4. Okay, cool. Thank you.
We gotta go
Yeah.
through them the rest of the session, though.
yeah, I'm not gonna go. I promise I'm not. And now it's a 10. So I got
All right.
2 5s on that one. Mhm.
He for a second he's like, Sylvie, do you know what you're doing?
Thank
Just
you.
to be clear,
Yes,
Okay,
I
I
know
don't
exactly what I'm doing.
I just don't want to be responsible for like.
I've done
Okay.
peyote in the desert.
Okay, is anybody going to be like in charge, guiding?
Oh, yeah, I got
Not me.
Right.
Hazel walks
Okay.
into like a corner.
I also just
Take
point
her
to my
mushrooms.
cat.
Well, if you have more stuff, do you also have that marijuana stuff?
I'm not going to let anyone else use this.
Okay.
It's-
No, I would
So
like
just
also
making-
some
It is-
marijuana stuff.
It's specifically for a ritual.
He goes back in, he rustles around, he brings you what you have asked for, and also some marijuana stuff.
Hey, Russell, can I get a glass of water?
What are you gonna do with this, everybody? Like,
they're
what's-
gonna
I'm
they're gonna go on a
going-
creative journey and write a book. It's what we
I'm
decided
not
to do
gonna
with our
lie.
night.
To be
I-
clear, he knows A, we're missing a member, and B, that Maddie died earlier in the night, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Who was there?
He knows all
He's
those
aware.
things.
He's aware.
He tried
Yeah.
to give us condolences in the beginning, and Hazel was like, "Nope, gonna keep talking."
oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Correct.
I lean in and I go.
I'm sorry.
It's good.
They're processing their grief, and it's sometimes these things happen in weird ways,
All right. Mhm.
and
I'm
so
just-
everyone decided
Hazel's
to
got like
do drugs.
her shoes off. She's on Melvin's couch.
Ah!
He's got like a little notebook she's doodling in.
Wonderful.
I'm
To a-
just
To someone who doesn't know Hazel, she does not look like she is mourning, but I would assume Melvin knows her pretty well and
Yeah.
knows that this is
So-
very weird.
Melvin does give her the briefest glance, and you see in that glance sort of a sense of betrayal isn't quite the right word, but if his thoughts were speaking, it would be like, wow, they don't even want me around.
Oh God.
And he nods to Lady and just says, I'm gonna go get some dinner.
I wanted to answer Melvin so bad.
He didn't say it. And he kind of goes walking off to dinner, sort of a little hunched, hands in his pockets, and walks away.
Okay.
Okay. I guess...
Okay, you guys have your medicine? I think that
I
Rose
just-
might like take this moment to like go to bed. Because we're in the
Yes.
corridors.
Yes, you're
Oh,
where
yeah.
if you're staying on site, you're where you would. Yeah.
Rose is like, all right, I have what I needed. I'm gonna go. You guys have what you need. We'll meet up in the morning, breakfast.
Wait, are we not going to have this experience together?
Oh, no, I have to prepare this. Y'all are having a
What?
completely different experience. I plan
But-
on crossing the
That
veil.
was the whole
So-
plan.
I got other stuff to take care of.
Gwen has
Okay.
never done
Aw.
a drug and is still very confused by the mushroom thing and like how it's
Wait
like
a
weed.
second. You grew up in the 70s. Are you telling me you've never done a drug?
Like, I didn't inhale, okay? But like, I got a cough and I thought I had asthma at the time and it didn't go so good. But
That track.
I think like she was gonna ask Melvin about like some sort of tea because Rose was talking about like medicinal mushrooms and all that. Got distracted by the cat situation when Sylvie was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I've got my bus driver or whatever. That's literally not what she said. But like, got distracted by the cat and is now... There's shades of like seeing her son like left out of like pickup games and stuff like that. So her plan is to be like, look, I'm gonna go get some like a pitcher of water, some water bottles. I'll be back. And she's kind of gonna follow Melvin. Just
Sounds
So
good.
here's what happened. Because Rose was lying, she was going to bed. And she has 3 kids she's raised, 2 more she's adopted. All of her kids have kids except for like the one. He's had a hard time. She could tell that Melvin was having a problem, was having a struggle. Like, as a mom, you can see this. And so part of it is that she does have a thing to go do. Melvin's headed in that direction. Melvin needs someone. So, like, Melvin went around the corner. Rose is like, oh, I'm going to go to bed. She heads out, goes around the corner, is like, Melvin, wait up. And then you go out and go around.
Gwen
Yes.
and Rose do that thing where you're like, okay, bye, and then like go in the same direction, like
Together at the same direction. It's hilarious. So yeah, Rose is like caught up to Melvin and is like,
This
hey,
is so
I'm
on
doing
brand.
this special project thing and your expertise might be actually really fantastic if you want to maybe get involved a little bit.
Yeah, what's the project?
So my grandmother left me a recipe. And then like break from see that Gwen is also like, I'm gonna go get some water, and turns the corner to rush up on Melvin, and like you don't see Rose until like you get right up on her because she's, you know, a little bit of a like the angles
Sure,
wrong.
doing
And you
the-
rush up and then Rose is right there too, and she's like, oh.
oh, Rose, I am glad you're here too. Are you telling Melvin about our appreciation for looking after our good friend Hazel?
No.
Okay, well, Melvin, and she's gonna just like
Sorry.
take his hand and like pat it. I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to say, you know, Hazel talks about you all the time, and you're always there for her for whatever this mushroom thing is. I know they're hard to grow. I tried like in the 80s and shiitake, button, couldn't get them. Just, you know, you gotta inoculate thing, doesn't work for me. I think I had things too dry. Doesn't matter. The point is, you share your hard to grow mushrooms with Hazel. and I appreciate that. And I don't know why you're giving me that look, but it's okay. This is just a hard night for us.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, forever. No, thanks.
Oh, I didn't mean to mesh the judgment.
You're a good kid. I can't remember how old he is, but it doesn't really matter. And she's still
when
just
you're
like
our age, everyone's a kid.
He's like 18, 19.
Oh,
right?
absolutely, yeah. Just
right
patting his hand. And I know we're kind of kicking you out of your room a little bit, but you come back anytime. We're just gonna borrow it for a second. Here, do you have money for dinner? Are you good? Do you?
I'm good for dinner, but thank.
Rose, who just handed him like $200 for all these drugs. He's got money.
Those are for the drugs. That's not for dinner. She's gonna tuck like another 20 in his hand, just pull it out of her little coin purse. And it's one of the old 20s, very worn,
yes.
But most places probably still take it. Okay, I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't know you two were having a talk, but thank you. Be safe. Drive safe if you're driving. Walk safe if you're walking.
Oh, yes.
And take small bites, because you can get food stuck right in here. It happened to Ethel the other day.
Thank you. Thank you. And you actually see just a little bit of a tear.
Oh my god, this breaks my heart.
He looks at
Hazel's
both
such
of
a bad
you,
friend.
And there's a little bit of that. And does Gwen also accompany him to dinner, or just Rose?
Gwen's gonna feel like she's intruding because she walked into a conversation that she didn't know was happening, and she's just like, okay, I'm just gonna say my piece, and then if you two are going on a date or whatever, that's up to you. Good for you, Rose.
Yes,
Rose,
please start that
married
rumor.
3 times. Still currently, one of her husbands is alive and is definitely going on a date with an 18-year-old.
I thought you were old. I'm so sorry.
But Rose also wants to give you the vibe that you're not interrupting. She was trying to make him feel a little better. You might be doing a better job making him feel better by being more direct. She was being more indirect. If you want to be a part of this, she wants to give the vibe that you'd be welcome if this is what you want to do.
She did say that she's gonna get water and head pretty much back to the room. So I don't want to hold you up. You to do what you're doing. I should probably still get dinner at one of these times here soon, but take care of yourself, because we'll be watching out for you. That sounds threatening, but you know what I mean.
There's that moment from when you were in the woods on the way to the convening meeting, when there was this vulnerable sense of appreciation. His shoulders relax, and you see that on his face. And my dog just came up to me to tell me that it's time to feed her. So let's go to break.
Right on time.
And when we get to break, we're gonna all be in the separate places where you've decided you're gonna do some of your stuff. Alrighty.
Get your own drinks, walk your pets, cuddle your pets, stretch, and we will be back in 5 to 10.
Bye.
What's up when I'm on camera and on mic?
Yay! Okay, so one of the things that I've forgotten as my knowledge of the manual has slowly eroded from my head is to have everybody mark their questions on the character sheet from which you can get XP, because like I said, I legit forgot that experience points or advancement were a part of role-playing games. So who would like to start you can change 2 of your questions if you want. The first one has to stay marked.
Okay. So I only have 1 question marked on here. I think I may have forgotten to do this at some point. Oopsies.
Yeah, I only have 1 question too.
This is our first time doing it.
Oh, I don't know why I wrote an X at some point. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, so for these questions, some of these are kind of stuff I super did, is the thing. Did I secretly undermine the authority of a local official? Not secretly. Did I behave like a woman half my age? Kind of.
So these 2 that you're going to mark are your goals moving forward.
Cool.
And you can tell people or you can not tell people, actually. Do y'all want to say what questions you're marking or not? And we'll come up with them. We'll talk about them at the end.
I'm gonna share mine because I feel like that'll help, like, also be able to, like, oh, I know that this is one thing that person wants to do. Maybe I will line myself up to do that. I'm gonna do the did you dote on someone. That feels very Rose all the time.
Yes.
And I think that what I'm aiming for a little bit today is to share a memory of a late family member. That's something that I'm kind of aiming at a little bit already. So I'm gonna have that as my second thing that I mark.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share the questions you marked?
I did change mine, I think from session 1 to session 2. I did share a memory, well, kind of. I started to share a memory of a late family member with the person treating Hazel, but did not get super far into it. And then, well, I guess I had Did You Dote on Someone marked. I don't know how much I doted on Hazel. I didn't dote on anyone else last session.
You still got a lot of doting.
Yeah, not last session, but you can, if you keep it marked for this session, you'll definitely get XP for it. Yeah.
That one and family member are marked for this session.
So I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused. Are we marking things because I have one mark that I did session 1. Are we now marking things that we did session 2 or things that we're trying to do this session?
That you're trying to do this session.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna mark share a memory of a late family member, and then I'm gonna keep behave like a woman half your age. That's very Hazel.
I'm going to also share a memory of a late family member. I think that's cool.
Oh, we're all
rad.
getting into it.
I think we all want to talk about our backstories.
Yeah. Well, and somebody just died, so it feels relevant.
Yes,
yeah.
It really
also,
does.
I would love to secretly undermine the authority of a local authority figure for a change.
You got to work on the secret part of that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, some critical parts of this are at 100%, but there's a small part that's at 0%.
Rosy, we are marking the questions on our character sheet.
Okay.
And changing them to what your goal is for your character to do for the rest of this session.
Okay.
All right. And you can share the questions or not share the questions. They can mark it. Up to you.
Okay.
And if there's no more to do with that, I think we're going to start with Gwen going to find water for the rest of the group. And that would be a trip to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm technically headed. We're doing it. We just keep doing the thing of like, goodbye, walk in the same direction. Goodbye, walk in the same direction.
Yes. This is my favorite thing ever. I'm just headed to the kitchen for just like some water bottles or like I said, a pitcher, exactly what it said on the tin. Water bottles or a pitcher of water, maybe some ice, some cups.
So you all sort of awkwardly head to the cafeteria at the same time.
Can I? Because I think it would be hilarious. I don't know how like on edge Gwen is, but if like Gwen gets there first and she's in the dark back room in the back kitchen area, like getting water, because you don't know where the light switch is, but you're like, okay, I see there's water over there, and you're like getting some water, and then like you hear the door open and some voices and stuff, and like in the dark, are you gonna hide? Are you gonna stay put? Like, because it could be a funny moment of like.
She's gonna do the hide though, where like, the like industrial metal racks that they like store pots and stuff on. She's gonna like duck behind one of those, and like she's not gonna crouch or anything because like these knees, are you kidding?
Absolutely.
So it's very hiding behind a flagpole. Like there's definitely like the outline and like she's just kind of like, also she's not entirely sure if they're supposed to be back there or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
thinking.
Especially because they're
here's what I
not staying
suggest.
on the property.
So you head to the cafeteria, and you know that the water bottles are in the back, and you see that Susie Bianchi and then one of the Concord employees are really busy, like in the line, like putting stuff on people's plates as they go, in the buffet line or whatever. And so you head back to get water, and there's sort of a side room where there are all the supplies stored. And yes, the light is off, and you notice, well, you can't find the light switch. And as you're in there, what you actually hear, you hear Susie and you hear the volunteer, or not the volunteer, the Concord employee, talking with each other. And this employee is Brandon Thompson, just sort of the guy who is in charge of like all the low level, like menial tasks, along with Jenny Smith. And Brandon is there talking with Susie Bianchi. And what you hear is an angry Susie. And Susie is saying to Brandon, like, I don't need you to tell me what to put on the menu. And I really don't appreciate that you're telling me how to do my job. I've done this job for decades, okay? I know how to do this job. I don't appreciate it. I wanted to give them the steak, and this is not what I planned. And you just hear the low level voice of Brandon. You don't even really hear what he's saying. You can just tell from the tone that it's patronizing. That's what you can tell. Rose, you, at the same time as Gwen is hiding in the supply room on the side of the kitchen, you are with
Melvin.
Melvin, thank you. I keep wanting to call him Martin, the Martian. You're with Melvin, and there's sort of a stop at the buffet line, where there's like a couple of the course, like the main course, and one of the sides is emptied, and so they're supposed to be refilling it. And there's just like loud buzzing, and like nobody's really upset yet. They haven't been standing in line waiting for refills for very long. But that's where you're sitting, or standing in line. And Melvin is just kind of awkwardly like, so this project that you said that you wanted to do?
Yeah, sweetie, how about this? Like, let's not wait in this line. It's not moving anymore. I've got access to the back kitchen. I'll make you something fresh, and you can help me out. And then I'm just gonna leave the line and go to the back kitchen. Awesome. As is wont to do, and just go into the back kitchen, and like I do the thing where like I open the door and I immediately flip the light on because I was so practiced. I know it's placed out like the back of my hand. I'm just gonna walk in and be like, yeah, so I just,
and Sylvie and Brandon are there and look at you. And you, Gwen, hear Rose's voice in the kitchen. I would like you to roll a night move because you are hiding and listening into people's conversations. So I feel like that is doing something risky.
And that is presence. Is that correct?
It's whatever you think it is, but I feel like what is the other one?
Presence feels like it's the opposite because you're trying to not be present.
Presence is when you're in interaction with someone. That's very true. Literally.
Oh yeah. No, I read the wrong thing. You are absolutely correct.
Composure,
it's
maybe?
Composure.
Okay,
Composure.
excellent. Good. Love that. That makes it 8.
An 8. Okay. So you are in there listening, and you, as you pull back like that, bump into a shelf, and some stuff falls off the shelf, and you can hear some like glass breaking on the floor. And fortunately, like that's right when Rose walks in and is speaking, so the other two don't hear it. But like there is now like a mess on the floor that is either going to be discovered or that you have to clean if you want it to not be discovered. And Sylvie and Brandon look at you, Rose, and look at Martin and say, Sylvie's smiling and like, oh, Rose, I'm so glad to see you. And Brandon is like, excuse me, this is a staff area only.
Yes, I know. I have permission to be here. And Melvin's giving me some assistance, so we're bringing him back too. Did you know that there's a line that has stopped because things are empty out front?
I'm
I'm gonna kind of like
aware.
pointedly, like I'm gonna read that situation and pointedly say that specifically to like Brandon.
Nice. So meddling move.
Okay. So
Right.
is this?
And for me, this is like, for me, this would be either presence or reason, depending on how you read people's faces. Do you like instinctually feel, or do you like reason out what you see?
I think that it might be reason, but it's more based on like the 50 other times I've seen somebody with this sort of a dynamic. What was the result?
I think that's
30
reason,
other
then.
times, yeah,
Okay.
that I've seen this kind of facial expression.
Yeah.
So that'll put me at a 10.
Oh
just
my
hit it.
goodness. Okay. So what you see in Brandon's face is not patronizing condescension. That's clearly the like face that he's putting on. There's a sense of urgency of both like of essentially of I don't want to be caught doing something wrong.
I think at that point, Rose will sort of follow up with some like assurances and platitudes of like, oh, I mean, and I flash him my badge. I've got this back here. You don't have to worry about me, but the line out front, they're still okay for now. Do you need assistance, like getting something out there? I can help carry some things a little bit. I'm stronger than I look. And I'm just going to kind of like try and help him feel like leaving me here isn't going to make him in trouble and get out of here. I don't want him here either.
Yeah. And he, I think, wanting to smooth things over and to get you away from him, like kind of quickly, goes, well, sure, here, put the refills in the line, and hands you like a tray. And then there's another tray next to it. So one tray is like green beans with almonds, and then there's like honey chicken in the other one, like all sort of stewing now in its own juices. It's been sitting there for a while. And he hands you the green beans, and he says, like, can you put this on the buffet line so that people will move along?
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Almonds on the green beans?
You've never had green beans with almonds? Like little almond slivers? It's a thing?
It's a thing. Yeah, I think Rose is gonna like stand, but she's gonna step to the side, like, after you. Like she read that there was tension in this scene, and she's specifically attempting to separate Brandon from Susie. Yeah. Whether or not that's the right thing for her to be doing, different story. But that's what she's attempting to do.
And I think your meddling move worked. So he picks up the tray of chicken, and you both go to the line, and you put the food down. Gwen,
yeah, I put it down, and I'm gonna come right back because, yeah.
All right. So Gwen, you hear footsteps coming back, and you also hear Sylvie like start to whistle, like in a sort of distracted, like you would know, Rose, that this is what Sylvie does to calm herself down.
Right.
What are you doing, Gwen?
The only person back here right now is Sylvie and myself. Or where's
Rose is in the front, and Melvin is like awkwardly trying to help. Yeah.
And I would like to point out
there was
NPC Sylvie, not me Sylvie.
Oh shit. Is that what
Susie, not Sylvie?
Susie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
I think it was me.
I'm gonna use the heat wave as my excuse.
Valid.
So right. So yeah, Melvin is trying to help, is like awkwardly trying to help. There was like a tray of mashed potatoes, and he's like bringing it up to the line as well. So yeah, for a second, when you're alone with Susie.
Is there a second exit that isn't? It doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's not like the door that.
Yeah, there's a staff exit, but it's on the other side of the kitchen.
Does it seem like it would go somewhere not a dead end?
It goes out on the back porch.
Perfect. Literally anywhere else. Gwen is going to zip out from behind their shelving unit and kind of wave at the departing closing door that Melvin just went through and say, "Oh, Melvin, tell Rose that I got the things. Thank you." And then just try to zip out the other door.
When you say zip, what do you mean?
Mall walk.
Malwa.
Do me.
Yeah.
I want you to roll with vitality.
That's
Hell
absolutely
yeah.
valid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
Okay, so we're down to 3.
4, I
yes.
think.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Oh, was that 4?
No, 3. 3.
Three,
You're
okay.
right.
Okay, that is much better. That is well, that's a 10.
All right.
And yeah, I'll repost it. We're down to 3.
And is your goal to not be seen by Sylvie, or is
My
your
goal
goal
is
just
to
to get
not
out before they get back?
Be like questioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
So
mind if
Susie, not Sylvie, sees you zipping through and just was okay. So at the same time, Melvin is walking out the door, hears you, and like almost gets hit in the face by like pausing and saying hi. And Susie looks at you and is like, "Oh, hi!" And then you zip through the door and you're on the back porch.
perfect.
Uh,
I don't know if I know where the back porch leads, but I'm fine wandering with the water until I get back to the appropriate room.
Sounds good. Sounds good. There's like the woods and a little creek back there, and then it's a long back porch that connects to almost every, like all the rooms in the back of the building. Rose, what are you doing?
So I'm not gonna stay with Brandon because I don't know this guy.
Mhm.
And like he seems like he's got stuff going on, but I don't know him. So I put that down. I have Melvin, like, yes, put that here. And then I basically like Melvin's going back with me. Brandon, this is your thing. Leave him there and go back inside. And when I go back inside, I like have Melvin go in front of me and I kind of like, I know they're like maybe swinging doors or something, but I close them behind me and I double check that whole like drama, sneaky, like checking, make sure that Brandon's staying there. And then I turn to Susie and I go, what is going on? That looked tense.
They want me to cook according to their menu with their special organic ingredients. And that stuff is bullshit, right? Like the GMO, right?
Yes.
All of that crazy stuff. Like, what happened to the old days when we could just make spaghetti from a can, I can make it taste good. I know how to do my job, but they're coming in telling me how to do my job. So I got to follow their recipe and use all their shit. I am so tired of being controlled by these people. They're so controlling. I can't stand it. It's ridiculous. I am at the ends of my rope with them, which is what they want, I think, because I think they want to.
That's absolutely what they want. I've seen this before. Couple of times we've had new people coming in to be able to cater some of the events down at like the different community centers, and they always try to like shake things up so that it's able to have their own sense of control over it.
They want to hire some young kid who they can pay minimum wage to,
and they can boss around. But you've got a transitionary agreement. I read the whole manual, and this year is technically still you in charge.
I mean, it's not working out that way.
All right, I'll spend a little bit more time around here. Speaking of, have you seen Linda?
I haven't. Who's Linda? Remind me who Linda is.
That's the friend that I exchange recipes with.
Right. Okay. I saw her a little bit ago. She came in. She wanted to do some kind of fun thing and grab some ingredients. I just let her take some of their stuff because. And she left to do some cooking. There's that area like near where the horses are kept, where they have just like their own little like barbecue kind of place, and she's over there doing some kind of her own food because.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to be working on an old recipe from my family, and Melvin here is going to help me a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to also help me so that you have an excuse to not be out there right now?
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, thank you. What are we making?
Medicinal ice cream. I promise it'll probably be better than it sounds like it will be. I made the recipe without the medicinal part, and the flavors all seem like they'll match
Right.
really
We're not
nice.
talking like menthol or some bullshit.
No.
Okay.
No. Look, and I'm gonna pull out my recipe card from my grandmother and show like that there's a few variations on it, and they all have a different flavor profile based on which medicine you're using, so that the flavor matches the medicine in a
Fantastic.
complementary way. And mint isn't in it.
Fantastic. So
Yeah, so I'm gonna work in the kitchen for a couple of hours, primarily with Melvin explaining how to do what Sylvie wants to later get done, which is extract the medicine from like the mushrooms and the CBD and everything, so that we can get like this whole ingredients thing situated and like chill it so that it's gonna be able to go into the
fantastic.
This is
Can
prep.
you tell me the top 3 ingredients that you use to flavor the ice cream?
Oh well, there's the cream, but that's not for flavor.
Mhm.
But to make for, well, which one? Because they're going to be 2 separate. There's the mushroom one.
The top 3 ingredients that you use during the course of making the ice cream.
So there's the medicine, which say for the mushroom one. And then I had these written down somewhere actually. I think it was a cloves was the one that I was like, what would go good with the mushroom? I think it was like a cloves flavor or something. And then maybe like, no, I think it was like a sage or a rosemary, and then because it was something not super sweet, and then on a peanut butter background flavor, as like the backbone flavor. And then for the marijuana one, it was on a chocolate background, because of course. And I think that the additional add-in flavor was, it was something like, I want to say it was maybe a raspberry or something that I went with, something a little fruity to complement.
So you get some raspberries, you get some chocolate.
And she brought these. These are things that, like, when we set up, she was dropping stuff off. This was like the big thing she needed to not let go bad in the back of the truck.
Totally.
Because she's doing this big important recipe.
Perfect.
So yeah,
so
she has these ingredients.
The last thing I'll leave you with before we're gonna switch over to the other group is you know, you heard Susie like complaining about they want us to use their organic GMO stuff. And you can see in a bunch of places that there are like 3 groups of flavoring things. There's what you brought, there's the one from Warp and Weft, and then there's the one from Concord. And actually, before I go to the other 3, Gwen, what are you doing at this? Oh, you rushed out. I remember now. So Rose,
is there any chance? Yeah, sorry, you probably about to answer my question. I was going to ask if there's any chance I can get a little bit of gossip off of Susie.
Yes,
as a clue.
But first, I'd like you to roll a meddling move.
Okay. What do we think this is for?
I think this is presents because you're gossiping with Susie.
Okay. 8.
Okay. So Susie's probably going to be more of a gossip than you'd like, and tell other people that she's told you what she's about to tell you.
That's fair.
Yeah. They have way too much of some of these ingredients, and I don't even understand why they do it, because they put it in the back closet, they put it in the storage area, and then they're sneaking it out at night. I'm telling you, I come back to the kitchen and there ain't nothing there anymore.
Interesting.
And then they put more back there, and then they sneak it out at night.
You don't know where they're sneaking it to?
It's just gone. I mean, I don't really care because I don't use that crap, right? But that's where they put it. They seem, I don't know, like they don't want no one else to get their paws on it.
You know what it probably is?
What?
The higher ups don't want to come down to the cafeteria to eat the cafeteria food, because that's how a lot of these new situations, they get very stratified. And so they've got their own separate set of ingredients they take up to wherever they're staying and have cooked on site, just separate for them.
I mean, maybe, but they don't got no meat or anything. It's just things like peanut butter and stuff.
Maybe
Peanut
they really love their
butter,
PB&J.
Spices, jelly, honey. They took some jam that they said that they made on their own, and they just sneaking it out.
Maybe they just really love PB&J. I don't know. That's weird.
All right, we're gonna go now to the other group, and
Oh, and in the midst of this, sorry, one last make sure I detail. I am feeding Martin. He's getting a home cooked meal separately while we're doing this as well.
He is glowing. He is so happy as you're doing this. And it's almost like someone who was thirsty and is given water for the first time. Right.
Got it. Great.
All right, back at his cabin, however, with Lady, Hazel, and Sylvie. Are you all still there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You're back at the cabin, and as you're sort of watching them walk away, Lady, you get a message, a voicemail on your phone.
Yeah, I like to imagine that even before this comes in, I'm frantically pacing, and then my phone buzzes, and I take a look at it, and I stop, and then I'm frantically pacing just a little bit faster. Set up the voicemail, and for cinematic purposes, it's obviously on loudspeaker. I'm not gonna fucking repeat this in 30 seconds.
Right, right. And you know what? It didn't even need to be because it's loud. And what you hear sirens, but you hear like lots of sirens. You hear the start of a siren, and then you hear the start of another siren, and the start of another siren, and the start until it's almost like a cacophony. And then you hear different voices at different times saying things like, "What the hell?" or "Watch out." All sorts of different voices. And then you hear a screech. And the beginning of what sounds like crashes. And then it cuts out. And it's like, maybe it was a butt dial is what you thought at the beginning, but then it was like dozens of butt dials at the same time.
I'm like looking at my phone, and I like turn to my friends here and I go, okay, so this, I can't say this happens sometimes. Voicemail happens sometimes. Sometimes I just get anonymous suggestions, leads, tips, and that's cool.
So there was no name on that voicemail.
Oh, I don't understand how caller ID works. I think they just like turned it off in the 90s.
No.
Maybe I turned it off in the 90s.
I think you turned it off in the 90s. You could star 69 it.
And then I'm just like, I don't know anything about these sex moves. That's some young people shit. But what I do know is that this was unusually incomprehensible. I would say maybe it's not on, maybe this was not on purpose. Maybe this was a butt dial, but like.
There was siren. The screams that we're listening, were they masculine or feminine screams? Like,
it was a mix. It must have been like a dozen or so voices, all different genders and pitches.
You said you get weird voicemails like this before? Or you said you get like...
it's just a thing. I think.
Have you not contacted the phone company about that?
Are they always screams?
It's just sometimes I give my phone number to the students in class, and sometimes they give it to their friends, and they're like, "Oh, there's a mystery," because they know they're like mysteries. And it's entertaining most of the time. It's not really a problem.
Are they? So they're prank calls?
I mean, sometimes it's like fun facts, but anyway, yes.
Have you ever just considered answering it? Or does it just go straight to
Can we call it back? Call back the number.
Yeah, just call it back.
I'm gonna try to do that. GM, is there a callback number?
Damn.
Oh.
Look at my phone, and it says 69ing. Is that anything? Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Quite strange.
I don't know, maybe I'll ask our magical friend later.
That's an idea.
Here has a lead.
I got nothing.
Speaking of, how are you two handling the idea of magical things?
I mean, look, you don't believe in ghosts until you meet him, but I hang out with the ghost of my husband or my conscious, whichever, all the time.
And Hazel
Fair.
holds up her bag of mushrooms. I got these, and these are magic. Speaking of which, we had a plan. So I'm not gonna like get deep on y'all right now, but everyone seemed on board with my plan, and then Rose and Gwen just left, and neither of you want to do what it feels. I'm sorry. I thought we all wanted to do what I wanted to do, and now no one wants to do what I want to do, and it helps me. So I don't understand why.
Here's the thing. You can still do it. I specifically needed Melvin for these, and I hold up the little red cat mushrooms.
I
Do
don't
not
know what
eat
those
these.
are. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we can talk to the snake god with these, but I need to make sure.
Well, we might not be ready for that. We were just gonna, we were all just gonna vibe and come up with a plan, and it was gonna work, and then everybody left. And I need to have a moment where we're all just gonna chill and do the thing that we said we were gonna do, and everyone left.
And you're the only one who said that you were going to do it.
I thought people sounded excited.
Hazel, can I give you a hug?
Yeah, would be nice.
Just wrap my arms around her.
Yeah, she cries a little bit. She's having a little bit of a moment.
It's been a lot, and I just hate.
Maddie usually helps me when I get overwhelmed, and she's not here anymore, and I don't know how else to cope, and I thought we were all gonna cope together, and I'm coping alone, and I just need a minute. And Hazel's probably, go ahead.
Lady just kind of like leads you into sitting down on the floor.
That's good for us.
I think it's very like as if we were dance partners together, but without any of the like fun bounce about it. But just sort of like I'm leading you down, and I'm just like hold your hands, and I look you in the eyes, and I say, "You're not alone."
Okay, well I feel it right now. Feel very alone. I feel like we should be together, doing something, a plan of some kind together. I don't like that we're not together. Doing something together. And I just need a minute. And if you guys have a plan, if you want to do Sylvie's weird magic mushrooms, I'll do that. Fuck it, sure. I just need to do something. I don't like the not doing anything by myself.
I really want to be sober tonight, but if you want to try doing this, I'm here to be a sober person who can think clearly in case anything bad happens.
Okay.
Which it won't. I'm not going to put that energy in this room. God forbid.
Okay.
But, you know.
Well, I don't know that we're ready. Sylvie, you said we can talk to a snake god. I feel like that might be jumping some steps. But
for you, perhaps.
Damn. Okay.
It is all right. You sit and you cope.
Okay.
You are allowed to cope in your own way.
I miss Maddie, and I wanna.
He has only been dead for like 2 hours, so I understand.
Yeah. I thought that I don't know.
And
maybe I suggested
gargoyle talk to you. That is a lot.
That was weird.
Consume.
And I suggested the mushrooms because I thought we were all gonna do it and think of a plan. But if it's just me, then maybe we're not gonna come up with a plan. So maybe we shouldn't. We should all just come up with a plan with our regular brains. I'm not as good at that. But I feel like we should come up with a plan.
So did you want to get high to plan, or did you want to get high to cope?
I think now that I look back on it, I think it was a coping thing. To be totally honest with you.
I mean,
upon reflection, I think it was justification for coping. But yeah, I just don't want to do something by myself right now. So
it is all right. We can be here with you as you. In fact, I can go and get music.
Okay. Yeah, music's good.
Set the mood.
As long as it's not oldies. I don't like oldies. Like,
Fleetwood Mac is excellent. What are you talking
well,
about?
they're making a comeback. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, I
Stevie
mean,
Nicks is going to be
Stevie.
president in 2024. Sorry, continue.
Did she say that? Totally
Yeah.
did.
I would.
And I'm assuming we all accept it because we've heard it before.
Okay.
Let's just move on.
What do you consider oldies? Like, what decade do you want?
I don't know, something. Give me something from the 90s. That sounds good.
She's gonna open up her, because she still has her Mothman tote bag, and she's gonna open it up, and she's just gonna pull out a little speaker that you can plug into like the head jack of her phone.
Hell yeah!
Because she still only has like her Generation 1 iPhone, but it does have iTunes on it.
Oh yeah.
So,
Hazel, I think you're facing something you fear, and you should make a night move.
What is something I fear? What'd you say?
You fear coping with this.
Oh, I thought you feared Fleetwood
Yeah.
I
Mac.
also
Yeah, I misheard you. I'm facing something I fear. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm rolling. What'd you say? A night move?
Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is very clearly rolling with the word that I've forgotten in my head right now.
Sensitivity?
Now I have to pick like
No.
the best song
Sensitivity.
for this.
Yes. Sensitivity would be if you're doing something supernatural.
Okay.
This is composure.
Okay. Oh no, not good. Well, it's not terrible. It's a 7.
It's a 7. All right. You're able to sort of take on the external vision of calm, right? Like
Okay.
you look calm,
Okay.
but you feel inside your heart racing. And as you feel your heart racing, you keep thinking about the nitroglycerin
Mhm.
and how that impacted you. And I want you to make a meddling move.
Okay.
And I want you to roll that. You can do it with one of two things. You can do it with reason if you want.
Okay.
Or you can do it with composure. That like you're able in the back of your mind to either reason through something that you're thinking,
Mhm.
or you are so the way that you're composed is almost like one part of you is talking to the other.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the composure for sure. She kind of has a little bit of a split situation going on with her current persona and
Yeah.
who she kind of has been her whole life.
Yeah.
Okay. 9.
You realize this and it sort of breaks your composure even more.
Okay.
Right? Like it sort of allows one side of that to like win a little bit. But if nitroglycerin on the lanyard or whatever had been enough to kill someone who you've not heard has any kind of heart problem, then you'd be dead. But it did make your heart stay high for a long time. It did make your heart rate go up for a long time. It didn't kill you.
Okay. And we don't know that Maddie had anything wrong with their heart. So it was enough to kill Maddie, but it wasn't enough to kill me. Is that the implication? Okay.
Either it was enough to kill Maddie, but it wasn't enough to kill you, or it was only one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
And for the record, Sylvie just puts on my brain. Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
Perfect.
Appropriate in this moment. Or
Perfect.
inappropriate. So, because, you know, it's about being high.
Hazel's having kind of her like vulnerable moment right now on the floor with Ladi, and she says, when I said I was fine earlier from the nitroglycerin, you probably could tell, but I was less than fine. I didn't feel super great. And I find it curious that Maddie had this same thing on her for a similar amount of time, and Maddie's gone. and I'm here. It feels strange to me. I mean, I'm fine now. Don't worry. Like, everything's fine. It's cool. But it was less than cool for a little bit. But I don't think I ever was gonna die from it. It made my heart race, but I think there might be something else that we're missing. But I don't know what that is, and I don't know that I can figure that out tonight, but yeah.
We don't have the answers, but
Yeah.
sounds scary.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was scary.
Do you want to do magic mushrooms, or do you want to like just smoke weed and chill out a little bit?
We can just chill out. That'd be cool.
Okay. It's been a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have
Been a
just the
lot.
Minion meme for this. I take out my phone and I spend the next like 7 minutes scrolling.
Love it. Love it.
Sylvie, are you gonna do your weird mushroom things? What's your
Oh
plan?
no, I'm not gonna do these right now. I do not like. I told you they must be boiled first.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. They gotta be boiled? Okay.
Yes, because if not, they will kill you.
Cool. I would like fewer things near me that could kill me today. I've had a lot of those.
Well, luckily I have. She pulls out a Tupperware container that's in her bag.
Oh, thank God. It's totally safe now.
Well,
yeah.
I do not know. I do not know.
Don't know
It is
what.
It is. It is a lot, and death is not something that I'm inexperienced with. But the Mergargoyle spirit did come after I did get a vision of dread. So,
Vision of dread.
yes, it was
Like just
As I
amorphous dread, or a thing you were dreading?
It was something from my past, but I cannot shake the feeling because it feels similar to what is happening here. It's nefarious.
Yeah.
What happened last time? You seem pretty comfortable around all of this supernatural stuff.
Oh, my half-sister, no, my cousin, that's right, she was my cousin, was a part of the Illuminati, and she attempted to destroy my hometown where I harbor supernatural beings by kidnapping my werewolf boyfriend and forcing him into a blood ritual on the full moon, but I did save him.
That's a lot.
Yes.
So you...
Do you need weed?
I was gonna say, you
No.
suggested weed. That would be great.
This was
Remember
back in
how I said
19...
I was overwhelmed?
This
Shit.
was
This is not...
This
helping.
was back in
Oh my
1970.
God.
You inquired. I apologize.
All right.
If it makes you feel better, my Illuminati cousin is now dead. I killed
I'm
him.
sorry for your loss, but yeah, that helps, I guess.
I take out... Lady takes out his personal piece that he's just had on him
Oh,
and
wait.
a little bit of weed.
We could, if
So
we
is-
wanted to. Wait.
You asked. I don't understand. Did you want me to
No.
lie?
I asked.
No,
Look,
She asked.
we'll move on from it.
Can I interject and suggest that instead of using Lady's personal piece, we use one of my cozy activity items that I got from Sylvie, which is a glass blowing kit. We could use that and do a cozy activity together.
Yes. Yes.
So
Well,
you
if
want
people
to
want it.
create a bong right now for
That
the first
it-
time?
No, it's already been. This has been its
Hello,
purpose for a long time.
ADHD.
It was given to me by Sylvie.
When you
This has been its
have
purpose for a long
an
time.
intimate moment with another maven where one of you is engaged in your cozy activity, you have the option
Let's go.
of asking a player a question that they need to answer truthfully, to have them agree to a course of action that you want, or give them a condition if they refuse, to clear an appropriate condition of your own, or to stumble on a clue.
Let's fucking go.
Man, I want to stumble on a clue, but that's just me.
Sure.
Well,
I would give anything to get rid of this minions meme condition. So I do want to say that.
Hate
The other
it.
one can be a clue though.
and there's 3 of you there, so I'm gonna give
Yeah,
each
that
of
is
you the
true.
opportunity to do
Gwen's
one
gonna
of
come
these.
back at some point with the water and wonder what they stepped into.
All right. Each one of the 3 of you who's sharing a cozy activity can pick one on the list.
Okay.
So we've got Lady is clearing the shares minion memes condition.
I definitely want to stumble upon a clue. Hazel would like to get some actionable steps here. She's feeling a little bit lost and stressed.
Yeah.
I feel like when you gave me shares minion memes as a condition, you meant it in a really broad sense. And I was like zeroed in on just like, oh, but of course I do have one
I think
for
it was
this point in
perfect.
time.
Yeah.
Minion.
Sylvie, what are you gonna do?
Minion man.
I don't have any conditions. Or do I clear the minion condition on Lady?
No.
Okay.
Lady already cleared that. So you can either stumble on a clue, you can ask a maven a question that they need to answer honestly, or get them to agree on a course of action.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Hazel something that she has to answer honestly.
Oh no. I'm excited.
Hazel?
Yeah.
Are you becoming an addict? Are you relying too much on substances?
If anybody has an issue with this as
Yeah.
a theme, tell me. But I think Hazel's answer would be yes.
Well, if we're going to die because of this, it's the best time to rely on substances, I suppose.
I think Hazel, how does Hazel feel about having that sort of pointed out to her?
I'll remind you that you have a condition called thirsty. So
I don't know how that plays in here.
I mean, it might evolve into just hedonistic.
Yeah, well, that there's this idea of running from the truth, escaping the truth.
Yeah. I think Hazel is defensive at the concept. She would not have answered it so bluntly. She probably would have done a little bit of some logic circles, and you would have ascertained because of that ability that the answer is yes, flat out. Hazel is very much trying to cope with a lot of things in her past, and figuring out, she hasn't really figured out how to be authentically the new self she wants to be. And she's kind of using substances as a means. That's kind of what sparked it for her, and she hasn't learned how to leave that. Yeah. That's very much where she's at. And she feels very defensive that you asked her that. So she's probably shutting down.
Sylvie is autistic as fuck, so she's just gonna ask questions without any nuance.
Cool. Love that.
So you stumble on a clue. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna narrate this part of the clue. And I'm gonna narrate sort of the end of the session for all 3 of you.
Oh no.
Right. Oh, all 5 of you actually, but all 3 scenes. Lady, Sylvie, and Hazel. Hazel, as you're having this realization about yourself, you hear some shouts coming in the direction of that little sort of barbecue kitchen area that's out by the cabins, the bungalows, the Lizzie Borden bungalows. And it's nearby. And when you I'm assuming y'all head over to see what people are shouting about.
Yeah.
And you see Rose's friend passed out on the floor.
Which friend is this?
Linda
passed out
Linda
on the
Hall, the friend. So every year for the past, not like
Right.
since forever, but for like the past decade, Rose and Linda are both like cooking people from a different angle, and they exchange recipes with each other, trying to like one up each other. Like, this is my hard recipe. Let's see if you can make it as good as I do. And they make the recipe and they bring it. And Rose hasn't gotten a chance to connect with Linda to like do the recipe exchange and the food exchange of like, I made your recipe. Did you make mine? Let's taste test these. And she didn't go look for her.
And Rose, at that moment too, near the same moment, you're not there, so you don't know. Susie lets out a big sigh, sits down on the floor and says, I'm not feeling very good, and passes out. Gwen, you haven't looked at your video yet. Do you mind if I dictate that right now you look at the video?
I would love that.
Okay. You have the scene, sort of shaky scene, sort of going around everywhere, trying to get like all of the like view of Maddie and the area, and you see a figure like in the distance, but like kind of peeking around to see, and solid and calm where everybody else is stirred up. And it looks like you haven't really met the guy before, but it's a security guy. It's the guy who's been here for security. And there's this theory that, that Maddie was the wrong target, right? For good reason. But he certainly seems happy. And that's where I'm going to stop us this week.
Oh no.
Ah!
All right.
I expected to kill off 3 more people today, Jen. Jeez.
I did just say that they were passed out. I didn't say that they were dead.
Okay, they're
I mean,
not dead.
I'm
People.
not optimistic about their odds right now.
Both of these people that are close to Rose, I'm gonna have to think of what this would mean to Rose.
I did not mean to just put the daggers on Rose. It just happened to be.
It could get very interesting. I'm gonna have to think through what does it mean when oh my goodness.
I
It's gonna
promise
be
you there's
interesting.
a reason why they were both related to Rose, but I'm not going after you.
That's fair.
It
No,
just
this is
seems
fine.
that way.
It's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
So let's go around.
I kind of feel like it's cool because it's like at the start, Rose is like, no. We're just gonna ignore this. And so then it's like, ignore now.
Yeah.
In
Ignore
your
this,
face.
motherfucker.
All right. So let's go around and, say who you are, where people can find you. And let's go over those questions. And see what you get XP points for. And then I'll have one question at the end after we all do that. But let's go around and do those 3 things. So let's start with Rosy. Do you want to start?
Yeah, okay. That's my
Oh
name.
no.
Yeah.
No,
You know
fair.
what? It's like Sylvie, Susie.
Valid
Like we're
confusion.
like,
Yeah. That'll do it.
For ease of authority, just call me Val for the stream, so that we don't.
okay, Val.
Yes, would I like to go first? So my end of session questions, I definitely did share a memory with a late family member. I was just like, oh yeah, I had a cousin. She's dead. She was a part of the Illuminati. She tried to
Done.
kill everyone.
Hell of a memory.
Yeah, I was gonna say just small little tidbit.
Like, and then from like last session, I believe that I did did you show someone that you still got it, with like when Maisie was just like, you don't know what I am, and then I'm just like, actually,
yeah.
like, I kind of do.
the werewolf sex. Yeah.
That's good.
That's
good.
showing that you still got it in more than one
Absolutely.
way.
That
Listen,
is true.
I came
that's
to this
two-
game for the mystery. I stayed for the surprise werewolf smut.
Cryptid sex, yeah.
It's canon. All right, cool. So that's 1 from last session and 2 from this session. Dope. All right, that's me. Next.
Awesome. Do you want to say anything about where people can find you?
Oh yeah, hey everyone. My name is Valdoranth Rosary on the internet. You can find me all over the internet at Valdoranth, or on the new threads. I am Valdoranth TTRPG because some guy took my name. I don't know. As far as like what I do on the internet, I'm not producing right now, except if you're in my Discord, which asked me about it, I'm opening up the sign-up sheet for my Extra Life players. We have 9 games over the first weekend of September, and somebody here is running a game. Actually, 2 people here are running a game because one of them is me, but the other is Ava. I got 9 games, so if you're in my Discord or want to be in my Discord gets first dibs on that. Otherwise, you can find me Fridays on Girls Run These Worlds, where I run a game of Ballad of Conjurers. I just TPK'd the entire party last session, which was fun, and then had them all have like afterlife fever dreams with eldritch horror gods, and it was fine. And now they're being revived to save the world. So that's me. That's where you can find me.
Alrighty, Ava.
Oh, that was me. That was a solid A. I heard it that time.
Yeah.
Hi, hello. I am Eva. You can find me many places at the Eva Serate. If not that, then Eva Serate. If it's got my face, it's me. If it doesn't, then it's probably someone else. I also started to transfer over to Threads and promptly forgot about it, like I do with so many other things. Who would have guessed? As Val said, I will be running a Lasers and Feelings game September 1st. Very excited about that. I have plans in place for my vampire detective game. I think I finally found a system that will work for that. Very excited about that. I think that's all I'm up to running wise. Other than that, you can find me playing here Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific. This Saturday, I will actually be doing a one-on-one character development session for my little sea elf artificer Winnie. And I think it might be kind of horror themed. We'll see.
Very cool.
Yeah, pretty excited. I think. Oh, my questions. Haha. Can't trick me. I almost forgot.
It's okay. I believe in you.
I doted on Melvin. I'm gonna give that one a big check because I'm gonna say yes. I also lost my pen, so I guess we're not doing as well as we thought. This session, I did not share a memory of a late family member, because Ethel and I are not related. But I would say last session I did. And I think I doted on Hazel a little bit last session. I was worried about
I'd say for sure.
So that's it for me for points for this session and last session.
Thank you. Evie.
Hi, I'm Evie. You can find me at Evie Story places. I have not started the Threads thing yet because this whole social media thing is just such a wreck. And I'm not sure I want to be in the midst of it. I might want to wait till the dumpster fire calms down enough.
Same.
So if I can get it eventually, maybe I'll be there, but not right now. I'm not super doing anything that needs a bunch of social media presence right now. So that's another reason why I'm just not going to jump into the mix of it. Anyways, for my end of session stuff. So I mentioned a couple of times the recipe being from my grandmother, who is a late family member, and it being this medicinal thing, does that count as having shared?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's for this session. And then I doted on somebody. I doted on a couple of people this session. And then last session, I specifically remember doting on the previous owners, like making sure that they got their little tarts and stuff like that, and like talking to them and focusing on them. I don't know that any of these other ones I necessarily did.
Okay.
So I think we're just at those 3.
Awesome.
Okay. Which I level. Is that a thing we're going to do off screen, or?
Let's do that one off screen.
Got it.
Yeah. Exciting.
Ooh.
All right. Let's go to Ray.
Hi, I'm Ray. I do professional stuff in the board game industry. I work for Czech Games Edition, the makers of Codenames. In terms of cool stuff I'm doing, I'm going to be at Gen Con, which is the biggest board game con in the US, start of August. And if you can't go to Gen Con for health, financial, whatever reasons, I will be live streaming the entire thing. I'll be walking booth to booth, and I will be a virtual convention for you. So you can watch it, you can ask me questions. I will ask booth workers questions on your behalf and be a little walking virtual con. It's exhausting, but it's super fun. So if you can't go to Gen Con, but you want to feel like you're there, you can watch my stream on the Czech Games Edition Twitch channel. I played Hazel, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't think Hazel did shit the last 2 sessions. I'm going to be super straight. I'm looking at these questions. I just think she's been having little personal meltdowns, and I don't think she's been...
You shared a cozy activity and got a clue as a result.
Oh, does that count as something?
Well, I don't know what your questions were.
My
You could do something.
I know. I absolutely did things. I don't think I did things that fall into the
Gotcha.
confines of these questions.
I'm like, Ray, don't be so down.
No. I did stuff. It's great. I don't think I haven't been acting with like a purpose with these questions in mind specifically.
No,
so I don't think I got anything.
Next
Would purchasing a bunch of drugs count as undermining local authority?
Yes.
Or to prove that you still got it.
Also.
Yeah.
If
'cause
Jen
that-
allows
That's
that,
fair.
I'll take it. But I don't
Yeah, 'cause
want to.
that is
I don't
gonna be
want
one of-
Totally allow that.
That is going to be one of mine. So
Okay, it's doing
has to
drugs at a
count for you.
camp. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool. So I will mark. I mark an XP for that. Then is that okay? Cool. And I think that's it for me. Hazel doesn't dote. So I think that's she undermined local authority by doing an illegal substance. I think that is about
That's
all
fair.
she did that falls under those questions.
Yes.
Other question.
Okay.
Hazel was doing a lot of stuff with Maisie. Was any of that potentially under the realm of sharing your wisdom with a young person? Because Maisie looks like a young person.
I'm gonna say no because
I tried.
I appreciate
not a young
that.
person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that though. Thank you.
Okay.
Maisie is as old as the trees. Lady. Pablo, your turn.
Yeah. So I'm Pablo. I can be found at tender_ideas. Similar kind of vibe to Evie. I'm not doing a lot of public facing stuff, so I don't have to be on social media. And listen, social media, all of you, from one trash fire to another, I'm not gonna mess around with you until you get your act together. That's my stance right
Amen.
now. So let's talk about some of these questions. So I secretly undermined the authority of a local official by partaking in and strongly enabling a bunch of recreational drug use. I
Not
also,
where I expected this game to go.
yeah, I also
I'm so sorry.
barely technically
Wait until
shared
the
a
drug
memory
ice
of a
cream
loved
shows up.
one by like alluding to the ghost of my ex-husband. So there's that. Rosy, I think you might have been saying something and were muted. Or you're talking to
I
your
was
dog.
just agreeing with you because you were talking to your ghost husband.
Cool.
But I was loud, so I'm glad I was muted.
Excellent.
All right. Is that all for you, Pablo?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be quick with mine because I have one more question that I want everybody to answer. My name is Jen. I'm I'm not on social media either. I agree that it's a trash fire. And also when I got off of it like 3-ish months ago, I felt good. So I don't know if I'm gonna get back on it when the fire's out. You can, however, you can see me on Graham Cracker's channel on Tuesday at 4:30. I'm playing my super wholesome wildfire druid, and it's the most wholesome character that I've ever played in my whole life. I don't usually make those, but she's wonderful. And that's the only real place to see me, except for 2 weeks from now, same time, same place, where we'll be playing this. And I want to ask one more question, which is, what one clue are you going to be most thinking about as you prepare for next session as a player? Go for it, Pablo.
The weird voicemail.
Go, Evie.
Why did 2 of my friends die? What is this connection?
Valid.
What the hell?
Pass out. All right, Rosy. Val.
Taxidermied snake god.
Taxidermy. Oh, this game really is wild. Ava.
It's gonna be the mysterious security guard for me.
Yeah. And Ray.
Maybe why I wasn't one of Rose's friends who died. I feel like I probably should have died.
Don't! No!
I'll try not to, but it's weird that I didn't.
Awesome. All right, everybody. So great playing with you. So great having people join us to share in this experience. And I'm excited to see y'all in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.